Italian word of the day for today, Friday, February 2026, is Diavolo, which translates to English as devil. I am Tanis Coralee of Seattle, and so far as I am aware, I do not have the divine powers of a devil. So a devil is a figure in many religions, a spiritual / religious figure that is kind of the opposite of a divine positive presence, so to speak, or a god, and like a god of the overworld, and then a god of the underworld is the devil. So or could be. So where does my god Hades fit in? My god Hades is god of the underworld, including subsurface environments, including mineral resources. I'm proud of my god Hades, and I'm happy with my god Hades. He's a shockingly communicative god. Yes. But so in some religions there is Hades is a little bit different because he was in he's the original people's god, and so he's a god over something, whereas like and including like subsurface environment, so like minerals, so that's a real thing, versus like more kind of socially, what the devil is usually something that's like a spiritual realm that doesn't necessarily exist in the physical world, whereas Hades is a god of stuff in the physical world. So there's everything beneath the surface of the earth, including water, and like subsurface water, like that kind of thing. So there we go. I was thinking of, and sometimes it can be said, I was thinking of like, well, okay, how do I extrapolate that? I was like, some people might be like, how are you happy? And like, just like, could you provide an example of how you have your closure and you like are getting your completed check mark in like living with your parents since you moved back in, and your stay-at-home daughter and have been for over 6.00 years. Kind of like, where's the resolution in that of you'll be happier and better off with your soulmate? And I was like, soulmates. So sometimes it goes back to, well, before I moved back in with my parents as well, as I can kind of feel like sometimes my mom is a bit possessed by the devil, and it's growing up, and it may or may not be part of my pride curation story in terms of me being an asexual. She is somebody who describes things, and the word I kind of settled on was grotesque. And so she'll describe things with unnecessary grotesque detail, and she'll kind of always gear it towards the grotesque or the morbid or the dark, to kind of slap me. And like she continues to, like, just this morning I got back from my walk around, and so I'm sweaty, and I like and there's a stereotype that people get a runner's high. I don't, but I walk in the door and she's helping, plan a party, contribute to planning a party, and the first thing she does is put this expression on her face like somebody died, and be like, oh, so and so called, and I spoke to them yesterday in person. So she's trying to slap my runner's high down, and so it can feel like a little bit like it's motivated by the devil. In like, I'll set in living with my parents, part of maintaining my happiness has been, say, meals. So we have family dinners together, but we'll do breakfast and snacks and lunch and stuff. And I have deliberately chosen times or settings where I get to kind of eat in peace. And especially earlier on, when my mom's dad was still alive, she would talk to me in vivid detail about like his genitalia. I would be eating, and I would have chosen this time, and like this happened a lot. Okay, every time I go to lunch, and I keep moving the time so that she doesn't come, but she'll walk into the room only because I'm there, and she'll talk to me. She talks to me about her dad's genitalia, and then so I would choose times so that we would not collide, but she will, and continues, and has escalated to pretty much any time I'm in the kitchen now. She walks in and tries to like make me fat, slap my happy mood down, bring up inappropriate stuff. And so it's like at an all-time high, and it's been months now, and it's like she's trying to cause me to have depression or something, is how it comes across. I'm like, I'm looking for, I did not experience this before. The only time I've experienced it is living with my parents. Other people I've lived with haven't been this devil possessed, right? Diavolo possessed. Living on my own solo, I didn't have any of these problems there. And so it's I could say it's my mom, but perhaps it's the devil working through my mom, and her just not being like on top of her own spiritual faith, kind of thing. And I think a real closure there is like I brought up a bowel movement at one point in time, and she's like, and that's so disgusting, you know, when I'm eating, and like compared to you talking about your dad's genitalia, honey, wake up. Right? But she's not quite. She's kind of always been grotesque and kind of really about making me feel uncomfortable and unwelcome in her presence. And so I was like, it'd be even okay if she doesn't visit when I move out, you know, for real. So that's a little bit about why the closure and completed checkmark in transitioning to living with my soulmate, I actually quite look forward to. So in English as devil, in Italiano as diavolo.